up on Global Business, Chinese President Xi Jinping highlights financial development, science-tech innovation, and subsidized housing during an inspection tour to Shanghai. China on Friday issued its new ID card for foreign permanent residents with optimized features and increased security. And day 2 of the UN Climate Conference in Dubai, focus shifts to developing nations' cooperation in China's growing contributions. Hello and welcome to Global Business here on CGTN. I'm Guan Xing in Beijing. First up in the program, Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for major breakthroughs in the integrated development of the Yangtze River Delta during a symposium in Shanghai on Thursday. He also stressed efforts to enhance the region's leading role in pursuing Chinese modernization. Li Jingyi has the details.
Integrated and high-quality development are the key words at the symposium presided by President Xi Jinping in Shanghai. President Xi hailed the overall competitiveness of the Yangtze River Delta, an industrial hub encompassing several major cities with millions of people. He said major progress has been achieved since the region's integrated development strategy was put forward 5 years ago, but reminded that some problems still remain. He also laid out his vision for the region. President Xi called for strengthening innovations in science and technology and improving cross-regional coordination. He also stressed the importance of making institutional improvements for the region's integrated development and promoting high-level coordinated opening up. He called for the strengthening of joint protection and governance of the ecological environment and enhancing the region's capability to coordinate development and security. President Xi also emphasized the need for upholding the leadership of the Communist Party of China. Regarding innovation in science and technology, President Xi said that efforts should be made to generate new industries, business formats and models, and to nurture new development momentum. He also stressed the importance of international sci-tech cooperation to create a globally competitive ecosystem for innovation. President Xi said that regional segmentation and administrative obstacles should be broken down. Development on basic public services, transport networks should be integrated. He also said that there should be more cross-regional industry transfers, co-construction and sharing, and the rational allocation of production. In terms of high-level opening up, President Xi called for the strengthening of mutual learning and promotion of related reform experience. He also said that efforts should be made to expand influence of the Hongqiao International Open Hub and Shanghai Pilot Free Trade Zone, and to improve the business environment for private companies. On the environment, President Xi called for the establishment of a cross-regional emissions trading system and the promotion of carbon peak and carbon neutrality. He also said it is necessary to plan and build a new energy system and promote mutual assistance between provinces and cities. President Xi also stressed to step up efforts in preventing risks in areas that are essential to national and regional security. Chinese Premier Li Qiang and other central and regional leaders also attended the symposium. Li Jingyi, CGTN.
Over the years, Shanghai has been pioneer of China's high-level opening up. Our reporter Zhang Shixuan looks into the reasons.
Another big trend is that more foreign invested companies here are seeking for cooperation with local firms. Swiss robotics giant ABB just earlier this year opened its first innovation lab for science and medical care in China in Shanghai's Pudongniu area. The goal was to develop more applications with local companies. That was also a big topic at the 6th CIIE, where many executives from high-tech, pharmaceutical, and medical equipment companies shared their success stories of working with Chinese firms. Some even brought their latest results to the event. This year is very special, marking the 10th anniversary of the establishment of China's first free trade zone, which is located right here in Shanghai. Tesla's Gigafactory has significantly accelerated its sales and production in China, while also boosting the local supply chain, which now has more than 95% of its industrial chain localized. The company just announced it will build a new mega factory in Shanghai, which is dedicated to manufacturing its batteries. It will become Tesla's first energy storage project outside US, and the first import of remanufactured machines was also given the green light this year in Shanghai. The successful experiences in Shanghai have been widely adopted and promoted nationwide. The country now has more than 20 free trade zones.
And now for more insights on this, let's bring in Gao Xudong, an associate professor at the School of Economics and Management of Tsinghua University. Thank you for joining us, Professor Gao. So, in your opinion, how is Shanghai driving innovation to advance openness and high-quality growth?
Hello. Shanghai actually, I think, is innovating in so many areas. For example, in automobile, they attracted Tesla to invest in Shanghai. Shanghai is also leading in areas such as integrated circuits, in biopharmaceutical, and also many other areas. Shipbuilding, I think, is a traditional industry. In emerging technology, I think Shanghai is also play a leading role.
And what is the economic significance of these innovations locally and globally?
It's very significant. For example, many years ago, we believe, the new energy vehicle will become a major industry in the future. But how many years that it will take is not clear. But now it's very clear. It's coming. It's becoming a dominant industry. So I think Shanghai played a very important role. If you look at biopharmaceutical. Now Shanghai is one of the leaders, not only in China, but also in the world. In commercial aircraft, Shanghai is becoming a center. Many years ago, we talked about brain drain, means talents from China and other developing countries go to developed countries. But now we see also brain circulation. They get the education, they come back to China and to other developing countries and help with the economic and social development in China and other countries.
So to maintain this leading position looking forward, what obstacles or challenges does it still need to encounter?
I think it is, for me, the most important thing is the change of the mentality. For so many years, China, we call us a developing country. In technology, we want to buy technology, import technology, and then do incremental innovation based on those foreign technology. But now, China is not only a developing country, but also to some extent, especially in technology economy, we are becoming a leading country in the world. So the transformation from catching up mentality to a leading mentality probably is the biggest challenge for Shanghai and also other cities in China.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us your insights. That was Gao Xudong, Associate Professor at School of Economics and Management of Tsinghua University. China on Friday issued its new ID card for foreign permanent residents. The new card is also named the 5-Star Card. Our reporter Wu Bing follows a group of foreigners in Shanghai.
Sinan Zilmaz has been living in China for almost 10 years and moved to Shanghai 18 months ago. Today, he came to a service center of the Shanghai Exit and Entry Administration to get his new permanent resident ID card.
It's a great privilege for me and honor to have this card.
From Friday, China officially began issuing its new ID card for foreign permanent residents. 6 foreign residents in Shanghai, together with 44 others across the country, have so far applied and got their new cards on the day. So this is the new ID card for foreign permanent resident, and it's also called 5-Star Card given its new design. But what comes is more than just the design. The new ID card has 18 numbers, just like the ID card of Chinese citizens, and it's believed it will make their lives in China more convenient. Taking transportation, for example, China's National Railway Administration announced that it has modified its app. Foreigners can now use their permanent resident ID cards to register by train tickets online and pass the gates without the need to print paper tickets.
Starting from today, foreigners who have obtained a permanent residence ID card can start applying for the new 5-star card. However, this is completely voluntary, and the old permanent ID card can still be used normally within the validity period.
The new 5-star card is believed to be another step of promoting high-level opening up. As a businessman in Shanghai, Yilmaz has high hopes for the years to come.
Business is getting better, definitely. Of course, we passed the epidemic after 3 years. Still, we did not recover compared to 2019, but the domestic market is very strong, and we believe that 2024 is going to be a great year for all of us in China.
Shanghai is always considered the forefront of China's reform and opening up, and experts say the city plays a leading role in exploring new policies for further opening.
Shanghai is actively promoting new measures for opening up every year, and these measures will be summarized and replicated to other areas of the Yangtze River Delta if they're successful. The city has a very significant role in leading the high-level coordinated opening up of the Yangtze River Delta.
CGTN, Shanghai.
Citizens of France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Spain, and Malaysia are now able to enter China for up to 15 days without a visa. Last week, China's Foreign Ministry announced the one-year trial program, which begins on December the 1st. Our reporter Zhou Jiaxing reports from one of the international airports in Beijing.
Flights from 6 countries, including Germany and Spain, arrived at the Beijing Capital International Airport early this morning, with the citizens those becoming the latest batch of visa-free travelers to enter China for up to 15 days. Obviously, easier cross-border travel and more opportunities for post-pandemic economic activities.
In this way, it's very easy. You just book your flight. You can come more often to China. So I'm very happy about this.
Yet it is a part of China's continuous effort to improve its visa policies. Among measures since the beginning of the year, China scrapped all COVID testing requirements and streamlined visa application services in countries including the United States and the United Kingdom. In July, China resumed visa-free entry for citizens of Singapore and Brunei. Early in November, it expanded its visa-free transit policy to 54 countries to include citizens of Norway.
To ensure a smooth implementation of visa-free entry, the immigration inspection has coordinated with airports and airlines regarding data, personnel deployment, and inspection services, making sure it is efficient and orderly.
China has signed a visa-free pact with Kazakhstan, Madagascar, and other countries, reaching a total of 155 mutual agreements this year.
Inbound tourism here in China is still widely seen to hold great potential in China after it took a hit during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the first 10 months this year have reached more than 26 million foreign visitors, and China cares for more favorable visa policy to attract more from overseas. Joachim, CGTN, Beijing.
For more discussions on China's new visa policy and tourism ties with these countries, let's bring in Xiaoxia, president of the Association of France-China Friendship in Normandy. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Zhao. So how do you foresee this visa policy adjustment contributing to increased international academic and business partnerships?
I think, of course, this policy will adopt a great news for all the French people, whether for business, academic, tourism, and family travel, especially after restriction imposed during the COVID-19. It will make it easier and simple to travel to China. Based on my experience, it's very complicated to apply a visa for all the French people, no matter it is for business, or the academic or tourism. So it will, I think there is several positive impacts on international academic and business collaborations. Firstly, it will increase mobility for researchers and academics. Even though there is only for 15 days without visa, it can make simpler for the international academics, business people to travel to China. So that will encourage more frequent and easier collaborations. And also, I think it will increase business partnership. I think more and more businessmen will come to China for attend the meeting to explore opportunities. So we'll engage in short-term project in China. And third, I think also we'll simulating educational exchange that can encourage more French students to go to China to have a first visit and then to decide their future opportunity in the education in China. And above all, I think that will really boost tourism because I'm in France for more than 32 years, and I set up this association to promote Chinese culture in Normandy. And I have my experience for the travel with the French people. For example, 2019, we have organized a travel group to go to China, but at that time the visa was so complicated. All the French friends should go to Paris in person to apply the visa. That is very difficult for them to accept these kind of complicated formalities. So I think there is a really good news for all the French people, especially for the people who have not even visited China before. And for us, we have a planning to organize a new travel in 2024 in October. So I will tell my French friends that we don't need to go to Paris to apply the visa. That is very, very good news.
Great news indeed, and also this year marks the 60th anniversary of diplomatic ties. In your opinion, to further facilitate closer exchanges between the two peoples, what more can be done?
Yeah, especially as you mentioned, 2024 is a very important year to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the diplomatic relation between France and China. I think more and more people would like to go to China to visit, to get to know, because not so many people, I mean French people, have visited China before. That would be a very good occasion for them to go to China to understand the real China and in China. So I mean, so that is very, very good. Especially 2024, it is also the year of the tourism and the culture between France and China. So that is even more important to have this new policy of the visa.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. And that was Xiao Xia, President of the Association of France-China Friendship in Normandy. China's State Council discussed a proposed revision to the country's mineral resources law during its executive meeting on Friday. Participants at the meeting agreed to expedite the exploration of mineral resources and bolster reserves. The meeting also explored measures to promote high-quality development of foreign trade. The signing ceremony of participation in the second China International Supply Chain Expo took place in Beijing on Friday. During the event, 44 Chinese and foreign enterprises signed an intent to participate in the second expo with the organizer, China International Exhibition Center Group. Zhang Shaogang, Vice Chairman of the China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, emphasized that the first expo had achieved significant results and had become a prestigious global economic and trade event due to the collaborative efforts and strong support from all parties. The majority of participating enterprises have expressed their interest in attending the next expo in 2024.
Many participating enterprises have told me that they have already found their partners and started negotiations within the exhibition hall. The biggest difference between the supply chain expo and traditional trade shows is that each exhibitor's surrounding environment is precisely their entire ecosystem of partners, so they feel that the expo has been tremendously helpful to them.
We certainly feel that although CICE, this is the first time to be held in Beijing, but it is already a mature and achievable event for enterprises to take part in. We certainly hope that it would grow better in the years to come, and it would be our pleasure and honor to be part of it.
Participants at the expo praised the organizers for implementing a range of measures. They emphasized that the expo offers a platform for participating companies to both compete and collaborate.
Many colleagues and supply chain service providers have shown interest in partnering with us, and we've also been approached by companies from overseas, including Japan and the UK. We see this as a promising opportunity and a highly professional platform.
Well, I'll tell you that the expo, of course, is incredible. It's been an honor to have the opportunity to come and to speak at the expo. One of the most interesting things that I saw was in the expo floor, you saw Tesla directly across from Geely. And I'm sure that was no accident. Seeing Tesla and Geely cars juxtaposed against one another on the trade show floor is probably the best example of market competition that you could see, and the wonderful innovation and design which is occurring all around the world.
You're watching Global Business. We're now heading for a short break. Still to come. Day 2 of the UN Climate Conference in Dubai, focusing on developing nations' cooperation and China's growing contributions.
.360-degree profiles of industry movers and shakers, tech mavericks, and policymakers. We drill down on their success. We ask how they set strategy and how they navigate in an increasingly competitive market. Real talk, real business. Join the conversation. Biz Talk, only on CGTN.
The COP28 climate conference in Dubai will hear from several world leaders on its second day. Away from the main stage, delegations will assess their progress in meeting climate targets through the global stocktake. The UN has also published the first draft of what could be a template for the final agreement from the COP28 summit. Adel El-Mahrouki reports.
The opening day of the summit has been taking all the points of views from world leaders on various issues. Mainly, as you've mentioned, the global stocktake is one of the main focuses that even the Secretary General of the United Nations himself has shed the light on. Basically, the United Nations is calling for clear vision for the next stocktake that will take place starting from Dubai until about 10 years later. It depends actually what will the duration of that will be. That's also one of the decisions that will be discussed. But generally, as the stocktake since Paris in 2015 takes place and the evaluation happens, the UN Climate Organization will be following up on new goals for the world to follow, hoping to achieve. Definitely 2030 comes to mind as the main goal through which the United Nations has been calling for reduction of emission, phasing out of fuel, and also finding affordable finance for developing countries, and that's of course beside funding the loss and damage fund. In general, there's a complication of each topic to be discussed, and the world has been so far not agreeing on a way forward.
Delegates from nearly 200 nations will review the global stocktake to evaluate the advances made in achieving the objectives outlined in the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. China has already initiated measures in this regard. Our Su Xinbo has more.
According to the Global Stocktake report released by the United Nations, it is evident that the world is falling short of its commitment to combat global warming. The global stocktake, which is conducted every 5 years, is a crucial part of the Paris Agreement. In 2015, more than 200 countries agreed in Paris to limit the increase in global temperatures to 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, with a target of 1.5 degrees Celsius to prevent more severe consequences. As per the agreement, countries were urged to assess their progress in 2023 and repeat its evolution every 5 years. The report, which incorporates inputs from experts, governments, and campaigners, will form the basis of discussions at the UN COP28 summit. The report warns that countries are already aware that their current commitments are insufficient to meet the set targets. Additionally, the investment and planning for climate adaptation are inadequate, posing significant risks due to the world already being 1.2 degrees Celsius warmer than pre-industrial times. This warming trend increases the likelihood of deadly heat waves, wildfires, and devastating droughts and floods worldwide. Some countries like China have already taken action. Recently, the Chinese government announced a plan to control methane emissions, contributing to efforts to limit global temperature rise. China has also been actively promoting international cooperation and dialogue to address climate change. Su Xinbo, CGTN, Beijing.
Brazil has been employing an effective land restoration technique through crop cultivation, leading to ecosystem improvement. And CGTN's Lucrecia Franco brings you the details.
This is Saudade, a 2,720-hectare farm located in the northern region of the state of Rio de Janeiro. Originally part of Brazil's Atlantic rainforest, it was turned into pasture land and grazed by cattle until the soil was degraded and overrun by invasive weed species. In 2012, while attempting to restart the beef production operation, new ownership stumbled onto a viable land recovery process with the introduction of crops. Now, in addition to thousands of beef cows, 600 hectares are planted with rice, beans and corn.
With this combined livestock and crop system, we achieved healthier pastures, resulting in overall higher productivity and better soil conservation.
Key to integrated farming is rotating between crops and grazing and improving soil with fertilizers, including cow manure. What this farm did by trial and error is now the cornerstone of Brazil's proposal to restore 40 million hectares of degraded land in the coming decades, an area roughly the size of Germany.
The survey we conducted showed that we have around 152 million hectares of farmland, but a large part of it is in the process of degradation. But some 55 million hectares are in good conditions and could double the country's food production.
Arguing that preserving its vulnerable ecosystems is of global interest, Brazil is seeking $120 billion for its land recovery proposal at the COP28 Climate Action Summit in Dubai. Lucrecia Franco, CGTN, Rio de Janeiro.
And that will do for this edition of Global Business on CGTN. I'm Guan Xing in Beijing. Thanks for being with us. The Point with Liu Xing is coming up next. Stay tuned.
This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.